Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Ayutthaya, and we're off the city island, and we're going to take a look at an old ancient temple that actually has an old part and a new modern active part of the temple. We're going to take a look at Wat Dusittharam, I think is how you pronounce it, which comes from the Sanskrit word Tush, kind of interesting enough. That means like to be fulfilled, or all of your desires are satiated. So anyway, we're going to take a look at here. There's kind of an old hall that's pretty cool looking. It's an old Ayutthaya, probably late Ayutthaya is the last remodel of it. Has an old ubosot, and then has a cool chedi, and then we'll walk over and we'll take a look at the new part of this temple and kind of enjoy this. So let's see what we see today. To me right here, this is the highlight of this temple. It's locked up. I've been in here before, and it's just kind of a plain hall, but it's really, really interesting. They say this was originally built either in the middle or early Ayutthaya, and then they remodeled it in the late Ayutthaya. And they had to remodel this again pretty recently. I saw some pictures of this when it was absolutely just falling apart. So you can see here, it's really a cool old building. Has the tile roof, has the lotus flowers there, has a window on each side, and then it's bowed like a boat. It's like a Chinese junk. Now the symbolism of that is like in the fourth level of heaven in Buddhism, that people could use a boat to cross, and then they would cross, become able to become a Buddha, I think is what they say. That you can cross and then you can come back into life and join the Buddhahood. So you can see here it has a cool old front porch, and you can see the styling up there. It has the wooden little naga and stuff like that, and the mythical bird. Now all the ruins that you see that has like this little porch, this is what they would have looked like. And it has two doors on the front here. It's locked up, and there's not any monks around that I've seen that can open this. But it's kind of cool. The outside of it to me is spectacular. And right next to that ubosot is where the Wihan was at. So they came over here and they've built a building on the footprint, but it is open on the side. You can see they have a Chinese Buddha here, and then I'm not sure what this is about right here. You see some of these stones in some of the older temples, and I'm not sure what it is. There's some imagery and stuff like that put on the side. So this would have been the Wihan, or like the sermon hall. And then it has, like this here looks like a replica of the stone that's in Sukhothai, where they have the Ramkhamhaeng, where he wrote the early Thai script. That's where the language came from. And check it out, you got a dog sitting right there. Oh, he's just comfy. And then they have a Buddha footprint, and it's just an open air hall, which is kind of cool. I like it when they restore the halls, but at least they're still using the same footprint. Then you have a chedi field over here. Kind of an interesting Sri Lankan style. It's kind of an earlier Ayutthaya design with that little narrow bell, but it is a modern chedi that somebody had built for them, and their ashes are interned in there. Yeah, okay, so let's go look at the chedi, and then we'll walk over to the new part of this temple. And you can see here, these are the Buasima stones that are on the outside of this ordination hall. Yeah, what a great little building. It's already needing a little bit of restoration. You can see some of the plaster work is cracking and sloughing off, but it's still a nice example of the Ayutthaya period. Now these are what's left of the wall. There would have been a perimeter wall over here around this temple, and there's not much left of it, just a couple of the little gates there. So this is the chedi, and I'm not sure how tall it is. It's quite massive. It's a nice shape. So it has all the little spires up there. I think there's supposed to be 22 of them, and then there would have been a little fanal up there. And you can see it has 4 little bell-shaped chedis on the base, and then it would have had a little platform up there with the little rail, but the rail looks like it's gone. So we can actually go up onto this one. So let's climb up. You can see it was brick and mortar, and you can see some of the plaster that's remaining here on it, and some over there. So we'll be able to see a little bit of the old styling, but not a whole lot. You can see kind of a cool looking chedi right here. That's right at the base. And then we'll climb up these stairs right here, and we'll go up to that platform and look around up there. You see a tree growing on this side. Yeah, these steps are kind of narrow, but it's not too bad. You can see the base over there of one of the octagonal chedis. There would have been 4 here along the base. These 2 on this side are just down just to a couple layers of bricks. And then you can see how they styled it right here, which is pretty neat. And then this is up on the platform. So you can see how the chedi was built here. This one's missing the top. You can see all of this styling right here. And then it has like the lotus flowers right there. And that would have been shaped like a bell. And it looks like some of the brickwork is falling off here. A little bit of the plaster right there is remaining. What it is that tree is pushing bricks off. You can see all the stuff that the tree has pushed off. Yeah, that'll cause a problem here in a little bit, because that tree will eventually cause part of the chedi to collapse off. So I'll have to get a couple guys up there to fix that. Yeah, it's pretty cool, kind of nice. So in the old days, people would have came up here and they would have circled this chedi 3 times as part of their ceremony. And you can see the rails kind of cracked there, but still quite a bit of the plaster remaining. And you can look down at some of the little chedis. And over there, that's the crematorium, because this is an active temple. And then they have boat storage over there. And then they have the modern halls. You can just see the roof over there. That's where we'll go after we finish this chedi. But this one here is probably in the best shape. Yeah, that is really, really nice. You can see it has like a little ball up there. Yeah, that is perfect. It's missing just a little bit right there, but wow, they come over and they wrap it with this little yellow cloth. Yeah, I really like how they've done the brickwork. It's amazing how they can make those cuboid shaped bricks round and do all those. You can see the last little chedi here, so it's missing the top also. And this is kind of the view here. That's another temple over there. Wat Ayutthaya. And then you can see the modern hall and stuff like that, and then all the houses. There is quite a bit to this temple. It's kind of spread out here. And it's not too far away from the train tracks. So you hear the trains clanking on by when you go. And then there's other temples, Wat Dusittharam, and a few others that are in this area, Wat Mayong. Okay, so let's go over and let's take a look at the modern stuff now. Yeah, you can see how the narrow stairs go down, and then that lower platform down there. You see this over here that's just out off the side of this chedi. And then all of this over here is the modern stuff with the temple. Looks like they're doing a little bit of remodeling here. They got this tore up, and that's the crematorium. You can see the faces up there on one of the towers. And then this over here is for funerals and stuff like that, and have a little salah. And you can see that chedi. Yeah, it's really, really a nice structure. I think it was renovated last in the 18th century, like the 1750s or so, before the fall of Ayutthaya, under King Bororamach, I think is his name. So they have some of the old boats over here, and then they have some of the alms bowls for the monks. This is the way the monks used to go out and get all the donations. They got kind of a little museum here now. This is the old cart for the funerals, and then they have the new ones right over there. And they got this little rinky-dink truck sitting here. Yeah, this is the alms bowl right here. Now there's a place in Bangkok that they actually still make them by hand. And I did a video of there, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago or so. It was quite fun to see them out there banging on it. It was loud, but it was still pretty cool. Yeah, and you can see over here, this is a machine to separate all the rice. Yeah, it's kind of a little open air museum of sorts. And then some of the bigger boats. And the monk quarters here. They're made out of wood, and they're still up on stilts. Because believe it or not, this area still floods the three rivers that join here during the rainy season, the Lopburi, the Passat, and the Chao Phraya, they will all flood. It used to be one of the defenses of Ayutthaya, was they would actually plan to withstand a siege for 1 year for the flood. They got the bell tower and stuff here. And the Burmese knew that, so they brought supplies to last them 2 years or more, and they were able to sack the city in 1767. And then we made it over to the modern hall, which is Bangkok era. So we have early Ayutthaya, middle, late Ayutthaya period, and then this humongous hall right here, that's the new version of the ordination hall. So that little tiny one that had the porch was the old style, and this is the modern one. This is what it looks like in the front. So you have the two giants that are guarding the entrance. Then you have the Nagas here, and then you can see they have the Buddha imagery and stuff like that up there. They have the nets, everything else. Yeah, really nice. So you have the modern versions of these Buasima stones. Okay, let's go inside and we'll take a look at this Buddha now. And you can see the modern version of the glass wall. Looks like they're building a new standing Buddha back there, and then they have sermon halls and everything else all out through here. You can see the standing Buddha. They put that wire mesh up there to keep the pigeons out. I like the old version so much better than this. This is still nice, but I think it's quite cool, the old hall that's quite simple. This has a whole lot more going on, high roof, and it's nice and wide, but I just kind of like the old ones. And so here they have the raised platform for the monks. They'll do their chanting ceremonies in the morning and in the evening. Yeah, and you can see it has the umbrella and all of that. Yeah, it's nice enough. And then it has the red wooden window shutters, and then they have the donations and stuff like that. And then they have the doors painted up with like the angel and all of that. It's nice enough. All right, so we saw here, and we got to see the old and the new. It's a nice little temple. Well, that'll finish up our video over here at this Wat Dusittharam. This is a nice place. It's more of a locals temple. To me, I like it because of that old Ayutthaya hall, that small one with the little porch. I really like the old architecture. The new ones are nice, but they're a little gaudy for me. I like the simple elegance of those old Ayutthaya style halls. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and then you get to see more stuff like this that I show you here in Thailand and wherever else I travel. If you've been here or have any questions or comments, or if you know more about it, let me know in a comment down below. And definitely subscribe and all of that. And until next time, from over here in Ayutthaya, remember, life is a journey. So until next time, enjoy.